Hello and welcome to your full moon reading. So just 2 weeks after the most potent new moon of the year for declaring and sowing your dedications for the future, for your future self, and your future experiences with the new moon in Aries and the spring equinox. This Thursday, April 6th at 12:34 a.m., we welcome in the pink moon at 16 degrees of Libra, the seventh of 7 lunations in a row, reaching their peak potency at 16 degrees of their sign. This full moon is named the pink moon because it is the first full moon of spring, and we can begin to see the first glimpses of pink wildflowers and tree blossoms blooming this time of year. Where I live, spring comes earlier than the rest of North America, and the pink wildflowers are already out in full bloom, decorating all of our landscapes with their vibrancy, beauty, grace, and joy, with their exuberant and colorful presence, dancing in a sea of green. And every time I see these pink wildflowers sweeping across our landscape, it fills me up with so much happiness, like a precious visit from a very dear friend that I only get to see once a year, and it always puts me in a great mood. This is some of the medicinal power of the color pink, and it is where we get the phrase to see the world with rose-colored glasses. This is also the essence and energy of the pink moon, which comes to us with great potency and a very clear message, as this lunation occurs in 16 degrees of Libra, which, if you remember from the previous lunar readings, 16 is the number of the Tower card in Tarot, which signifies great changes are on the horizon. So it will be especially important to remain in your high frequency bubble and protect yourself with pink light so that you don't find yourself quantum entangled with the chaos and the destruction of the old world structures, politics, corporate institutions, and societal structures. And instead, spend time in nature with the pink blossoms. Fill your energetic space up with healing pink light. And always remember to wear your rose-colored glasses. And to learn more about the spiritual insight about the pink moon and the magic and medicine that it has for us, be sure to check out my video on the spiritual significance of the pink moon. So naturally, after the 2 most powerful new moons of the year, the full moon in Pisces from February, which has us setting the tone for the rest of 2023, with the cosmic dynamics that will be working through us 3 more times this year, and the new moon in Aries from March, which invited us to consciously declare our future with the initiation of a brand new year, a brand new zodiac cycle, and the powerful shift into the light half of the year. We arrive at the last of 7 full moons in a row at 16 degrees of their sign, signaling major changes which are making space for these powerful new moon manifestations to take their place. And it makes sense. In order to bring in the new, you have to clear out the old. And that is the divine essence that this pink moon is gifting us. This lunation is in Libra, which wants to restore balance in our life, especially with all of our relationships. So, where are we experiencing an imbalance in our life? What relationships do we have that are out of balance? Where do we need to restore balance in our life? maybe eating too much unhealthy food, or watching too much Netflix, spending too much time on social media, working too much. That was a big one for me. Avoiding resolving painful past events, avoiding your destiny. Whatever it may be, this pink moon can be the breakthrough that we have been waiting for, if we decide to activate our free will and actively collaborate with this celestial invitation. To see where in your life this full moon is illuminating change, see where 16 degrees falls in your chart. And so I know a lot of you guys are new, so I want to go over this real quickly. So here is a birth chart, right? This is actually the last full moon, so your birth chart will look different, and if you don't have your birth chart pulled up, you can pull up a free birth chart on my website, and I'll have it linked below. The zodiac cycle always starts with Aries, so I just have this up at the top, and it goes counterclockwise. So we get to Libra, and it starts with 0 and ends at 28 degrees. And so every dot will be 2 degrees. And so you would count 2, 4, 6, 8, all the way to 16. And so there's 16, and I made a line. You can see a pink line, and that falls within these 2 dotted lines, which signifies the 6th house. Some birth charts will have the house number here, some will have it out here, and some will have it out here. Every birth chart will be a little bit different. If you download a free birth chart from my website, this is what it will look like. So you would count over every dot being 2 to 16 degrees in Libra. That is the 6th house. So you figured out which house that falls in. Then you will pull up, this is a astrological house chart that I have also linked on my website. And here you can find the houses 1 through 12, and here's 6. And 6 is daily life. It's how you serve, and that's through work, health, service, or self-improvement. So that would be an example of how to find out which house 16 degrees of Libra falls in your chart. And there you will find more specifically where this full moon is pointing to your cosmic blueprint of what you need to restore balance in your life, or where you need to restore balance in your life. And if we look closer and deeper at this chart of this full moon, it's very similar to the last full moon, which has the moon, which represents the core of our being, our true essence, our deep inner emotional self, the part of our being that not many get to see. And this core essence of our deep inner emotional self is looking at all the other aspects of our life. So here is the chart for this full moon, right? And here's the moon, our deep inner emotional being, and it's looking at all these planets on the other side of the chart. And so this full moon is also next to the midheaven. And this represents our life's ambitions and divine purpose. So we can clearly see our deep inner emotional being is in the presence of our divine purpose, looking at our entire life and all the different aspects of our being, working together to restore divine balance. So where do we need to restore balance within our being and within our life? We all know on some level of consciousness, but oftentimes it's hard for us to see because we're so immersed in daily life. It's hard for us to see the bigger picture. Or we've hidden away our problems so far that we don't feel them on a day-to-day basis, which means we may no longer feel it, but it doesn't mean that we have resolved our issues simply because we tucked them away and we no longer feel them. Therefore, looking at what house 16 degrees of Libra falls in your chart will guide you to where in your life you can start looking for places to restore your inner harmony. And when we look at this chart, the message becomes clear, right? Here's Chiron, the Sun, Jupiter, and Mercury, all in Aries. And if we remember the essence of Aries from the new moon in Aries, its energy is courageous, it's pioneering, it's initiatory energy. And Jupiter, the planet of good fortune and expansion, is amplifying this energy and making it stronger and more potent. While the Sun, which is our outer expression, is doing a healing journey check-in with Chiron, the wounded healer. And the Sun only conjuncts with Chiron one time a year. And so this full moon is our annual healing journey check-in, that its focus is completely on the self, not projecting onto the endless problems of the world. That would be a form of avoiding our healing journey, but rather resolving the problems that are residing within us, whether they are our biographical traumas or our multi-generational ancestral traumas that we were born here to resolve. And once we heal those, this in turn will naturally heal the problems of the world. And so for our full moon oracle reading, I pulled this card. It says, don't let pride get in your way. When I pulled this, I was like, what does this mean? Don't let pride get in your way. That doesn't seem to make sense with the essence of this pink full moon. And so I had to journey with my guides and counsel with them. And my guide said that we may think we've healed and created balance in our life because we're no longer feeling the pain from our past, or we have found enough stability to keep us afloat or to keep us within some sort of good spirits on a day-to-day basis. But this is often because we hide these emotions under the joy for food or alcohol or marijuana, shopping, social media, Netflix, and the list goes on. We all have our own vices, and I have mine too. But just because we've created life coping patterns and behaviors where we no longer are feeling the effects of our past traumas doesn't mean that they are resolved and that we are living in harmony and balance. We are invited to look deeper than we've ever looked before, to be more honest with ourselves than we've ever been before. And underneath all of the hidden layers of unresolved trauma, we will discover our strength, our power, our joy and compassion that is unparalleled to anything that we've ever experienced before. And this is the meaning of the oracle reading of not letting pride get in the way. We may think that we're complete, that we're whole and we're healed, and that we're above others who are suffering. But we may not be aware of how much yet there is to go until we go deeper and further. And this full moon is here to help us and guide us through this healing journey check-in. So I hope you guys enjoyed this full moon reading, and I wish you an amazing pink full moon. I hope you get out to enjoy some of the pink wildflowers and pink blossoms that are out in your home landscapes. And until next time, lots of love. Bye, guys.